හොඳයි දරුවනේ අපි අවසානයේට කතා කරමින් හිටියේ wonders of the living world කියන පාඩමේ නැත්නම් අපි කතා කරමින් හිටියේ ජෛව ලෝකයේ අසිරිය කියන පාඩම, right? Wonders of the living world. Let's proceed with that. So today I think we have to discuss about the other part, that is basically about the microorganisms. We have done up to here, this level. So we learn how to create our own microscope, right? Have anybody tried to create your own microscope? කවුරු හරි උත්සාහ කරාද තමන්ගේම microscope එකක් හදලා බලන්න? හරිඳු සානෝලි try කරාද? හරිඳු ඇහෙනව නේද පුතේ?
Yes, sir.
Did you try? No.
No, sir. No.
Right, okay. So I'll show you the video again. Anyway, in order to see these microorganisms, we need a microscope. This is called light microscope, light compound microscope, because it has two lenses. We call it compound, and because it is sensitive to the light, because it transmits light through the media, and then let us observe this bacteria and these different microorganisms. We call that light microscope. එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? ආලෝකය වැටිලා light will come to this, and then it will move through, it will reflect through this small slide which we will put here. Then you can observe them through the lenses. Actually, two lenses are used to view that. There are three powers: low power, high power, and medium power. Basically, you can use low power to see that clearly, but if you need more magnification, you can use low power and medium power. I'll show you what are they, right? Because when you're practically using a microscope, you need to know about this high power, low power, and medium power. No, right? Okay, Google it. Let's Google it. High power, low power, medium power in microscope, right? So what are they? So there are three lenses. You can rotate this head and change the lens. You can rotate the head and change the lens. You can see here. So these are the three lenses. Can you see here? Three letters are there, right? Here there are three letters. Okay, let's see this one. Can we see that clearly? Not in this one. Okay. Yes, in this one, I think no. It's also not clear. Let's try for this one. Right. So this is eyepiece lens. Eyepiece lens also you can change it. Eyepiece can happen. Eyepiece lens also you can change. There is a 10x eyepiece and 20x eyepiece. එතන 10 ගුණයක් විශාල කරන IPS එකක් තියෙනවා. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට 20 ගුණයක්. ඒ වගේ එක වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Microscope to microscope it can be changed. So that is the eyepiece lens. But there are three lenses නේ මං කිව්වේ. As I said, there is a low power one. That will do here, according to this one, low power one is 4x multiplication level. එතකොට උඩින් 10 ගුණයක් යටින් 4 ගුණයක්. 4 into 10 is here the objective lens is this one. හරිද? මෙතන තමයි කරකවන්න පුළුවන්. Objective lens is this one. The objective lens එක 4 ගුණයක් මෙයා 10 ගුණයක්. All together 4 into 10, 40 times magnification. Then medium power 10 into 10, it is 100 time magnification. Then this high power is basically 400 time magnification, and there's something called highest power also, right? But anyway, so there are three, and let's see how we can use it, right? Using microscope, let's see how the low power, medium power, because I'm unable to show this due to power cut, but I will show you using a video, right? High power, medium power, low power of microscope. Okay. Right, let's see this.
This video demonstrates how to under the base of the instrument. If the microscope is too heavy for you to carry safely, ask for assistance. Unwind the cord from the back of the microscope and plug it in. The on-off switch is on the back of the scope.
This
And
power,
any
this
emergency
actually supply power to the
cord is
microscope.
degrounded.
This is a different version. This is kind of expensive
The ocular
microscope,
lenses
which has two eyepiece lenses.
lines up with the white line below the rotating part of the lens. Check that the condenser lens is just below the stage.
This is the light.
Put the objective lens on low power.
This is called the small short one is called low power. මේ තමයි low power එක. මේක කරකවල දැන් දැක්කද adjust කරපු හැටි. See.
Put the objective lens on low power.
කරකවල low power
Move
එකට
the
දාගන්න.
stage to its highest position.
This is for the focusing. එතන මේ උඩට පල්ලයට කරන්න තියෙන්නේ focus කරන්න. ඒකෙන් තමයි අපිට හරියටම මේක බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. කියන්නේ අපේ lens එක තියෙන දුර අණුව according to the gap that we put, the focal length will be different. Then we to see a clear image. පැහැදිලි image එකක් බලා ගන්න අපි මේක උඩට පල්ලයට කරලා කීප වතාවක් බලන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට අපිට අහු වෙනවා කොහොමද පැහැදිලි image එකක් පේන්නේ කියලා, right? We can see how to see a clear image. See.
Adjust the light to the medium or medium high range. You can adjust the light later to improve the image. The brightest light doesn't necessarily result in the best image. Now you should be ready to start using the microscope. Open the clip on the stage with one hand and slide a microscope slide to the
These
back
are
of the
called
stage.
slides. Maybe මේවට කියන අපි slides කියලා. These are called slides. What are these slides? Slides වලට තමයි අපි දාන්නේ එක එක specimens, different specimens. එතකොට මේකට අපිට දාන්න පුළුවන් dirty water, maybe some threads, some cells, leaves. So some transparent. So most of the transparent, this is actually transparent glass, no? We can put objects to this micro objects to these slides. It can be specimen, can be a specimen, can be water, dirty water, some liquid, can be some different specimens are there. We can put it to the slide. Okay, sorry. Then this is the specimen. You can see. Then let's see. After putting this specimen, then make a දැම්මට පස්සේ this slide එක දැම්මට පස්සේ අපි හරියට මේක adjust කරන්න ඕන light එක ඒක අත්ෙන් එන විදියට. Right, see here. The light should come through that. ඒ light එකෙන් තමයි අපිට පේන්නේ. When light comes through this slide, then only we can see. When you adjust this, හරි අපි මේක adjust කරමුකෝ. When you adjust this,
and the stage in its highest position. Then look through the ocular.
Then you have to focus. Focus කරන්නේ මේ wheel එකෙන් උඩට පල්ලයට කරලා. Can you see?
Once you have found the specimen on low power, be sure it is centered in the field of view. Then move to the next highest objective lens, 10x, and refocus.
Right. Low power එකෙන් බැලුවම when you see that using low power, you have to center line කරගන්න ඕන. Why? Because then you can increase the power. තව චුට්ටක් වැඩි කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Then we can increase to the medium power 10x one. That is the medium power, right? We can change it to medium power then. Right. Then what? Low power, then the medium power.
Should be nearly in focus, and you should only need to use the smaller
small focus wheel you can use to make it focus. And again center it. Then you can change it to the highest power. ලොකු මේක දාලා ඊට පස්සේ ආයෙ center කරගෙන ලොකු මේකට දානවා highest power. That is 100 40x zoom 40 into.
If your slide doesn't move when you turn the knobs to adjust the slide holder, make sure you are using the right knobs and that the slide is clipped in place properly. If you are having trouble finding the specimen, make sure your specimen is centered. Start over at the lowest power and move the stage back to its highest position. If you get frustrated trying to focus, you can easily get so far out of focus that it's easier to start over. You should only need to do minor adjustments at each magnification, a little bit back and forth with stationary objects. If you are observing unstained specimens, use the stage diaphragm to reduce the amount of light passing through. Also, if you're observing unstained specimens, try to find a bubble or other easily observed object under the cover slip and focus on that. If when you move to a higher power lens...
Okay, these are some other advices which you can watch the full video by going to YouTube, but so different specimens you can see, different views are there. So let's see how we can view different things in the next set of slides, right? So anyway, now you know how to use a microscope. I have suggested you a solution in last week. Can you remember? You can buy this kind of microscope. So be hurry because the prices are, hiking. The prices are really getting high day by day. Therefore, so my advice is, right, please, right, my advice is please buy these things now itself, because if you are too late, you will not be able to buy. Right, one is this microscope. This is like a kid's microscope or the top. This one is expensive. Right, this one is expensive, so don't try to buy this because this is very, very expensive. And you can try this one instead of getting this one. You can try this kind of microscope, which is not. This is children's microscope, and that is not that much expensive. So you can see it is only 4,000 rupees, but that can do a lot. That small microscope can do a lot. That is enough for you to. Actually, for you up to your O levels. ඔයාලගේ O levels වෙනකම් ඔක අපිට කරන වැඩේ ප්‍රමාණවත්. That is enough. We can do something. Therefore, my advice is go for this kind of microscope, and that will do your work, right? Wait, let me show. Not this, not this, not this. I think 6th page. This is for the jewelries and all. This one here, children's microscope. You can try this one, right? But I know it is like a toy, red color and all. It looks like a toy, doesn't matter. You can use it for your work, right? Don't think much about the color, right? If work is done, that is enough. So don't think about, because there are orange color, green color, different color ones. But don't think much about that. Just buy it and you can do your work, right? You can try it. This is a USB digital microscope, right? This is digital microscope. This can be used for basically this digital microscope can be used to take images. You can connect and get the images using this digital microscope. Right? That is also a good option. Okay, right. But my advice is that in your case, it's enough to buy this one, right? You can actually watch bacteria, microorganisms, and it is relatively cheap. It's only 4,000 for the movement, and you can try this. Okay, the next. How to make your own microscope. Let's watch this video now. See how he's doing this. Then you can understand what is going on. That's why. Please watch this first. Right. Now I think you can understand the process, right? Because all these things. This is to keep the specimen. Make a specimen එක තියන තමයි මේක හදන්නේ. And small LED light නේ, the light එකක් තියෙනවා යටින් අලවලා. The reason is basically you need that to move through this light එකෙන් තමයි අපිට පේන්නේ හොඳට. බලමු දැන් බැලුවම කොහොමද පේන්නේ කියලා. He has adjustable light and also the slide which is fixed, then adjustable two lenses. This one you can move up and down නේ. දර ප්ලාස්ටික් කැල හදාගත්ත උඩට පල්ලයට ප්ලාස්ටික් බටේ හදාගත්ත ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන්. This is dirty water, right? See, දැන් මෙයා කුණු වෙච්ච වතුර දාලා බලන මොකද කරන්නේ? You can even see the bacteria. Right, but it doesn't have have this high power, low power, medium power, only one lens. නේද? එහෙම power තුනක් නැහැ. It's only one lens. Okay. Now you got the idea how to create the microscope and how to use it. Now you have a clear idea about that. So to do that, you have to prepare specimen. What is this specimen? Specimen එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? Right, what is this specimen? We need to prepare a specimen. Specimen is the sample that we are going to look at. That is the sample that we are going to look at. Okay, what is this? Inside this beaker, you can see hay. Or you can put grass even. Hari grass, hari hay, hay piduru, නැත්නම් පන පොළ මොන හරි දාන්න පුළුවන්. And you have to keep it for 2 or 3 days. Right? Keep it for few days, 2 or 3 days. Then what? After keeping this few days, so this is grass is basically a kind of food. So a lot of bacteria and a lot of fungi, algae. So will develop in the solution. So when you look at that using a microscope, then you can see here. And you can see small microorganisms in this dirty water. Right? Fungi and different moving microorganisms, different yeast, not yeast actually, this is amoeba, paramecium, okay, they are living in this solution. There are several hundred thousands of microorganisms there. Okay, shall we write down this experiment quickly? Identifying microorganisms in hay infusion. So please write down the heading and start writing this very quickly. Don't take much time, start writing this now. Okay, then, right, this classification actually, this is not really essential for grade 6, right? But so if you know this classification, it is really good because it is good to have an idea about this. And so there are different kingdoms, right? These animals, these basically the things, the living things as a whole, we can categorize into following kingdoms. So one is kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia, basically those are the animals, right? We, all the insects, mammals, right? Us, right? Everything, everyone, living animals put into the kingdom Animalia. Then kingdom fungi is fungi. පුස් වර්ග නේද අපි පුස්ම කියන්නේ පුස් කියලා කියන්නේ. හැබැයි අපි ඇත්තටම ගත්තොත් ඒ ඇත්තටම ඉන්නේ මේ පුස් විතරක් නෙවෙයි ෆන්ගයි කිව්වම එතන අපේ වචනේ පුස් තමයි. ඒ උනට දිලීර කියන එකෙන් අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් සයන්ස් වල අහනවා. ඊළඟට kingdom plant, all the plants. Right? And there is another kingdom called kingdom protista. Right? Kingdom protista. Protestawan කියලා කියනවා. Kingdom protista. These are not animals. These are not fungi. These are not plants, but still living. And kingdom basically your bacteria and kingdom archaea, archaeobacteria, archaea and bacteria. These the protozoa and all, they come in kingdom protista. And bacteria and archaeobacteria, they are coming in kingdom eubacteria and human archaea, kingdom archaea. So these three are basically categorized into microorganisms. Mostly these three are in microorganisms. Small, very small, tiny, and also kingdom fungi. Right? Even there are some visible things, visible living things, but mostly in kingdom fungi also there are microorganisms. But kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia, what do you think? They are basically visible, but there are some very small, tiny animals and very small, tiny plants. But most of them, majority of them are visible to our human eye. Actually, why it is a microorganism? Because you need to watch that using a microscope. If you are looking at them using a microscope only, that is called a microorganism. Otherwise, it's not a microorganism. If you can look at that using your naked eye. Right? Okay, so this actually I couldn't give. Please write down this microorganism. What are the microorganisms? Basically, microorganisms are living things which you cannot see without a microscope. Right? Those are called microorganisms. Please write it down. If you have finished, please write down this part also. If not, tell me. Have you finished writing this? Hello? Sanori, have you finished writing this?
No, sir.
No, okay, finish it first.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Right. I said that this can be, these microorganisms are, some are helpful, some are harmful, some are helping us, some are not helping us doing the tasks. That is the nature. Some are even very dangerous, and they lead to diseases, right? So they are so bad. The naraka bacteria innawa මේ වගේම bacteria විතරනේ fungi හොඳ සහ නරක දෙකොල්ලම ඉන්නවා. අපි බලමු. So especially I said about the yogurt production. So some are there, they are helpful. So which help us make cheese and yogurt, right? These bacteria are good bacteria. So their name is lactobacillus category, and they are kind of good bacteria, right? And so some here, this is another one. So basically these different flavors can of yogurt and cheese can be made. Different flavors of cheese and yogurt can be made with the different, based on the bacteria type, the texture, and also the taste of these will be different. So they are created using bacteria. And so this is another one, penicillin. Penicillin is an antibiotic, and it is also used to kill a bacteria. This is using a fungi. Penicillin is created using, penicillin is made of a fungi, and that is also a useful microorganism. And see this is penicillin, and this is bad bacteria. And if you put penicillin, it will kill, it will destroy bad bacteria. Right? This slide shows that this is actually a like this. This is actually an experiment. So penicillin is placed here. When this bacteria are there, you can see the bacteria are destroyed by penicillin. So that is a fungi, right? Okay. So let's write down this quickly. So very small note, but still important. Right. This is another fungus, yeast. This is another fungus that we use in our day-to-day life, right? Sometimes you may have this in your home also. ගෙදරත් ඇති සමහර විට yeast කියලා ඔන්න තියෙනවා. අම්මගෙන් අහලා බලන්න yeast කියලා දෙයක් තියෙනවා. පාන් වලට yeast roti හදද්දී නැත්නම් bakery products හදද්දී ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේ yeast දානවා. ඒවා නිකන් බෝල වගේ තියෙන්නේ. yeast කියන්නේ බෝලයක් නෙවෙයි. ඒවා එකතු කරලා බෝල වගේ හදලා තියෙන්නේ. Small bubbles, like small like sand like thing, right? White color. But in this small dot, there are thousands of yeast. Right here, yeast. So very small. Yeast is bad, especially here. This is what yeast is. So yeast is bad when infected. Right? Yeast සමහරවිට infect වෙන්න පුළුවන් අපේ මේ skin එකට එහෙම. එතකොට නම් නරකයි. But we can use this yeast in product. This is how it looks like, right? The මේවා නෙවෙයි, මේ yeast නෙවෙයි, මේ yeast එකතු කරලා හදලා තියෙන මේ වගේ මේ ගුලි වගේ තියෙන මෙහෙම yeast අපිට බලන්න බෑ. But if you create a specimen, in this specimen you can see yeast like this. Inside the specimen you can see yeast like this. It is, you can see the size, it's very small, a tiny microorganism. This is how it looks like, right? So very tiny microorganisms, and you have to see that using a microscope. How it uses, how is used? Basically, you put yeast into a flour mixture. So when you make roti or bakery product, you put water into flour and then put some yeast, and then you mix it very well, and you have to keep this for some time, because yeast will use this. Yeast is in certain condition, yeast is inactive because no food is there now, so it is inactive. But when it get food, this is a food, a bakery product. අපිට කලින් පාන් කන්නේ කවුද? yeast. හරි. අපි හිතනවා අපි තමයි පාන් කන්නේ. අපිට ඉස්සෙල්ලා yeast මේව කාලා තියෙනවා. So what yeast will do? Yeast will use this as a bakery. Yeast will use this, and when you keep it for some time, what will happen? So it will start eating flour and emitting carbon dioxide as a result of its basically its respiration process, right? It start creating carbon dioxide gas. So what will happen? So when you create the carbon dioxide, it will create carbon dioxide bubbles inside this solution. The carbon dioxide gas එක යාගෙන් පිට වෙනවා. එයා කෑම කනවා, ශ්වසනය කරනවා. ඒතර carbon dioxide යාගෙන් පිට වෙනකොට මොකද කරන්නේ? මේ carbon dioxide මේකේ පිරෙනවා. බෝල පිරීලා තමයි මේක බිම්බෙන්නේ. Then when you bake, right, then at the time that you bake, what will happen? Then yeast will be again inactivated. Yeast inactivated, but the bubbles created due to carbon dioxide will be there inside this food. The bubbles created due to carbon dioxide gas will be there in the food. That is why you can feel softness in bread. හරිද? මේක කෘත්‍රිමව කරන්න බේකින් සෝඩාත් පාවිච්චි කරනවා. බේකින් සෝඩා වල තියෙන carbon dioxide නේ. ඒතර බේකින් සෝඩා දැම්මම yeast වගේ වෙලාවක් තියන්න ඕන නැහැ. පිපිලා එනවා. පිම්බිලා එනවා carbon dioxide එක. ඉතින් ස්වාභාවිකව තමයි yeast වලින් කරන්නේ. Naturally use yeast, and the artificial or like non-biological process is using baking soda instead of yeast, right? That is what. Yes. Right, then we have learned about the helpful microorganisms. Next day we will discuss about the harmful microorganisms. There are a lot harmful microorganisms, and we need to learn about that, and also about the food chain and different other categories of living beings. So let's keep that lesson for the next day. Okay, do you have any doubt before we wind up today's session? Hello? Do you have any doubt before we wind up today's session? No? Right, great. Then let's wind up it and see you on next week. Okay, good night. Bye.
Good night, sir. Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Come.